Sure. Well, the reality for many of us, most of us as Black people in America right now is that we haven't had the background of financial planning, of wealth. We have to understand we're 150 years out of slavery. 50 years ago, we didn't have the rights to vote. We didn't have civil rights. In many cities here in the South, we couldn't walk on the same side of the street as a white person in this country. We were lynched. People don't understand. Lynchings happened after slavery. Here in Georgia, lynchings were happening just until the 80s. 85% of the lynchings were of business owners, Black people who dared to own anything, to accumulate wealth or to have money or a successful business. 85% of the lynchings were of our people who dared to succeed. And so it was never a widespread issue like it has been with other cultures to focus on passing on the family wealth or protecting the assets of the family, because most of us for very long have been fighting for their survival. And so there's nowhere that trains this. The American school system doesn't teach us. Our churches aren't passing on this knowledge. And so we see it with the athletes, with the entertainers. We see it with many of our successful people. Because there is no structure, this information doesn't seem to be important. When we get money, it's normally the first money we've ever had. And our whole idea, after a lifetime without having enough money to have a nice shirt or wear a nice jacket or drive a nice car, our first instinct is to spend it. Mm-hmm. And so it's time for education. It's time for us to now get into the big game and start playing as a race.
Mm-hmm. Well, Delxino, it's interesting because I take a look at the fact that our forefathers who came through slavery and was here during the worst of times, but it's something, I don't know if it's God-given, it's some common sense that somebody gave them, that they knew that they were supposed to perpetuate something. All of those older people, they had a little life insurance, and our people now don't have it. They all bought property when they could. I do estate planning. I look at the older people here in California. They had a house. They got a little duplex. They got a back house. They understood having something and owning something. It's a disconnect with this new generation. Excuse me, there's someone, mm-hmm. Okay, I guess they got off. There's a disconnect because they knew they were supposed to have something. You did not catch those people, didn't care how poor they were. They had a little insurance policy for their kids to go to college. They always talked about don't sell this house, let it be a house seat in case somebody didn't have a mm-hmm. place to live. Where did that disconnect? They understood. They didn't have college degree, but they understood legacy building. They understood the power of owning something because they understood that he who owned the land is the one who ruled. So how do we get back to that? It's the same thing with business. We lost something. Mm-hmm. They believed in business. They had their own business, but somehow we got pushed in. The white man ices cold to go to college, get a good education, not to come back and help me to build my restaurant, but to go work for corporate America. We better turn this thing quick and in a hurry.
We got to turn it around, Dr. Rosie. And the thing that in my years here in the marketing field, we've generated hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. We've helped to make many Black millionaires here. And we have done a lot of research in this topic to realize that a lot of the things that plague the Black community today, a lot of the challenges that we're working to overcome are by design. Okay? It didn't just happen, and it's really not even a failing on us. It's that this is exactly what some others want to happen. In other words, Black people, we owned our own businesses, nothing but there was a tremendous, tremendous interest in Black money. And what happened was a marketing campaign that's gone on for decades, have told Black people all over with commercials and TV and radio and everything that the other man's products are great. Most of us have never heard of a Black-made laundry detergent, not that there aren't a dozen of them, not that they're not fantastic, but only because the other guy is marketing and our businesses are not. And so while black people watch more television than everybody else, per person, we watch hours more television per week than everybody else. We own more smartphones than everybody else. We spend more time surfing the internet and soaking in all of this programming than any other race. The messages that we get are, if you want great laundry detergent, get Tide. If you want to go to a nice hotel, Hilton or Hyatt or this, if you want to you want anything, they have the solution. And our businesses, it seemingly don't have a chance, not because the businesses aren't great, not because the service isn't great, but simply because there's one game, a hidden game, $1 trillion game we're not playing in right now, and that's the marketing field.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really one of the sources to this problem. And without it, what we're doing is we're having the wrong conversation. And these things, generational wealth, passing on, investing, assets, wills, trusts, these things are not being discussed with us.
But we have to understand that other people who are doing very well in our community, many of them not spending one damn nickel on marketing, okay? So we can come up with all these excuses. Black folks have to develop a mindset that they want to see black business thrive. You have to find out what black folks want and give them what they want and what they need based on what you think they want. Something is wrong when people can come from every place else and walk right in our community. I don't see an ad on the radio. I don't see them even putting out flyers, but they bring right to black folks' door what they're using every day. So we have to turn this thing around, and I'm going to come back later and deal with that because there's something wrong with that picture.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment to what Dr. Rosie was saying. You know, it does seem like with word of mouth, with us, you know, telling each other that we have these businesses is so important. So I heard her saying that, you know, the mindset, changing the mindset and everything. But, you know, if we don't even know our businesses are out there, you know, we do need to have some sort of marketing to it and, you know, that people can go to be able to know that those businesses are there. So
exactly.
That's what I'm hoping the speaker's going to talk about. Yeah.
Yes. You get, that's exactly the point right there. You see, the thing we don't understand, when we look at it, it's easy for us to point the finger at us and say, well, there's a failing because it's obvious. But the reality of it is the other guy is spending billions, hundreds of billions of dollars sending a message to us every day, every time you pick up a paper, every time you turn on TV, every time you turn on radio, every time you look at an ad, it's all saying that they exist. Their product is better, their product. And for a black business starting, it can seem a little bit insurmountable. How in the world am I going to compete with a billion-dollar machine of advertising saying that the other guy's products are better, are the only things that are in the market? And so that's what, in 20 years of research and working and doing all this business, that's what we discovered. The caller is exactly right. Marketing is the way that we got into this. Marketing is the way we get out of this. And marketing is something that we as a black community can do together. And that's what we do in the Buy Black movement. You have a team of marketers all over this country. And what we do is we literally get everybody spreading the word about black-made products, black-made services, black-owned businesses. And with this simple word-of-mouth technique that doesn't cost anything, look at the success that we've had. We're generating millions of dollars, all going to black-owned businesses. We're totally changing the game at blackbusinessnetwork.com or our website, buyblackmovement.com. You see it all, and it's working, all because of this one fundamental truth. Every race responds to the marketing. Every race responds to the marketing. So, caller, remember, just as you said, our people will respond if we hear the message about black-owned businesses. We all respond to the marketing. But right now, the voice of black people is primarily silent, and all we're hearing is the other guy. And so just like other races are responding to their marketing, we're responding to what we see, and we are spending our money accordingly. So just to sum it up and close it out, The Asian in Chinatown watches Chinese television all day with Chinese ads of Chinese businesses. Go into an Indian from India store, and what you're going to see is all their Bollywood television and local advertisements. The Jew has all the Jewish businesses in the local area promoting and advertising. We as black people don't have anything like that. So when we watch what the white guy is advertising, and we spend our money accordingly because every race is responding to the marketing, and we're the only race that's not marketing our own businesses to our own people. So that's what we're solving here.
Let's look at one of the things that we can do. We understand the economic situation that a lot of black businesses are caught up into, but a lot of blacks are certainly spend a lot of time on Facebook, all the social media. So if everyone would know of the business they know about, if they just Facebook it and tell people that they know, that's how we have to come out of this hole. Because like you said, do we have the radio? Do we have the television? So let's look at what we have and what we don't have. So since we don't have it, then we have to say, what is the next thing that we can do? We have to do something. We're out of here.
Yes.
When you find out about something, you have to pass it on. You know, in fact, I just completed Black Writers on Tour and Southern California Black Business Expo here last Saturday. And what I urge to the people, don't just take that directory home and lay it down. If everybody on that show, Delxino, did business to business, you know, see, black folks talk about you patronizing their business. And when I ask them, give me the name of a black business that you patronized within the last 3 weeks, many of them can't even tell me. Something crazy about black folks. I'm going to put it out there. Something is crazy about black folks who think like that. You want everybody to patronize you? You're black and you in business. You can't tell me in the last 3 weeks not one black business you supported? Something is crazy about that. You know?
Yeah.
If every business on that floor, when they think of what they want, they go in that directory. I said, network, go talk to each other, find out what this person have. You read books, so when you want a book, look in the book and support this author versus going to Amazon.com. It's something crazy, Delxino, and I'm ready to call people out because I'm tired of seeing all this poverty. Because that's where crime comes from. You know, we have become the gross national product. Our children in the foster system, our people in jail, everybody's making money off of black folks. It's just like we are a product of service. What we all are responsible for letting everybody that we know about the black business that's out there.
Okay. This is a really great show, and Delxino, your comments are just wonderful. And I just wanted to ask, the question is, you know, we're talking about marketing, and we're talking about how to get this out to our people. And, you know, what are the tools that we can get this information out, and then what will be the impact from our black people buying from one another, black-owned products?
Sure. Well, the tool, thank you for the question. And the tool is very, very simple. In the black community, we have something that we've had a long time called the grapevine. That means we talk and news travels fast in the black community. We've had this. And as a matter of fact, with no training, we've perfected it. We know how to spread a message from New York to LA in minutes. And now with modern technology, it's simpler than ever. But what we have to do, if we're going to win this war, the marketing war, we have to use all of this in a very organized fashion. And the whole company that we built, Tag Team Marketing, that's exactly what we do. That's the whole point. Tag Team Marketing is a whole company and thousands of people that work every day using word-of-mouth marketing to market the products of black people to black consumers. So on Saturday night this Saturday night in LA at Carras Unity from 7 to 10, I'm going to be presenting this on how we unite as black people to literally win back the hearts, the minds, and the dollars of our people using these tag team marketing techniques. So you can come hear it for free, learn about it, train in it on Saturday night, and really, really get a good picture of what I'm talking about. But to the second part of your question, what happens if we buy black? Let's look at what we've done. Tag team marketing here, just in these last few years, as we've gotten thousands of black people buying black with this tag team marketing program you see at blackbusinessnetwork.com, the impact has been crazy. We have black people who are generating wealth they've never had before. They're spending money with their own people. Pride in the black community is going up. But we have one brother who opened his own school with his wife as a result of this. Black companies are gaining faith in black people again because for the first time, black people are buying from them. It's amazing. Now, you carry this out 10 or 20 years as more of us buy from each other, as we learn the importance of our dollar, as this movement, tag team marketing, spreads the word of black businesses and our products, as we become aware that black businesses even exist, the results are incredible. But black people together in 10 years of doing this, much less 20, we literally can end crime. Just as Dr. Rosie was saying, crime is a result of poverty. When we don't have anything, we'll rob each other for the little bit we have. Bring wealth into any community, and poverty goes away. Drugs go away. All of the various problems, even police brutality, is all tied to a lack of money. The police, by their own admittance, pick on those who have the least chance of fighting back. Because of the wealth in the Jewish community, they will not go into the Jewish community and pick on any of these white boys because they know the result of that could be the end of their career. But what they can do to blacks and Latinos, to poor people, is whatever they want. So all of that ends with wealth, and all of that ends with us working together to buy black. That is the answer.
Let me give the telephone. Someone, they kind of, I guess they have a little coughing spell. Mute your phone. Please do *6. You can call us at 310-928-7733. 310-928-7733. Now, what Delxino is talking about is the Black Network. What you can do, Black Business Network, any product that you think you want. What they're saying, if you go to their website, you can buy. Now, some people will say, well, where are they located? Don't worry about where they're located. If we can buy, if U.S. can patronize and shop with people in China, surely we can buy products from somebody in Mississippi, Georgia, Tennessee. This is the revolutionary breakthrough. People are doing most of their shopping online. So since you're doing that, all we're saying is you can find basically any product that you're looking for on that website. Now, once you go there and you look at the website and you see that, then it becomes your responsibility to Facebook, to email all of your friends and tell them, have you checked out the Black Business Network? Do you realize the product and service that you can purchase buying from Black? You know, why would you just go there yourself, get what you want, and then go on and sit down and don't tell anybody? We have to catch on fire and start telling everybody that we know about how to buy Black.
That's right.
I like that.
That's right.
What's the website? Mm-hmm.
It's www.blackbusinessnetwork.com. www.blackbusinessnetwork.com. And that's the home of the tag team marketing program. That's the home of the Buy Black movement. And just to give you guys an idea, this was a concept of black people a few years ago, 6-7 years ago, when we got together and said, we're going to get our people buying Black. We're going to find any Black business in America or around the world that has a great product and wants to get it distributed and sold to Black people. We're going to help them get the word out, and we're going to sell their products for them to Black people all over the world. This idea that started with 2 people, now over 57,000 Black people in 144 countries have joined blackbusinessnetwork.com. And we went from our first sale to now over 83,700 products and services sold, shipped, and delivered from our Atlanta warehouse facility to Black consumers all over the world. It's a movement that's redefining what's possible. It's proving that all we as Black people have to do is know that Black businesses exist. All we have to do is know that you have a great product like Motherland's Gold Moringa that you take, and Black bodies having miracles. You just have to know that black people make these amazing things, and everything changes. Just by knowing it, we support each other.
Yeah, and knowing isn't enough. You got to know, and you have to tell somebody else. I can't overemphasizing you enjoying something, but not telling other people. I mean, I call the social media and the new technology is making the playing field level, but we have to get out there and play. I don't care how level it is if you don't get on the court. You're not moving the ball. So we need to just spread the word. And just to think about, I said a while back, I said every church should have a business directory. You have people sitting in your congregation that's attorneys, cosmetologists, doing all kind of business, and you don't even know that they're there. I'm telling you, it's so simple for us to come out of the ditch. And it's really, as far as I'm concerned, it's a sin. I would go for it's a sin for us not to live up to our potentials with what we have. And I talked to my sister just a few days ago, and she told me in Illinois, a little town there, where I spent some of my time, how other people coming in with the beauty supply houses and doing the nails. And she said, seemingly most of key, what the young women want there, she said, is nails and hair. And she said, so everybody coming in, bringing us what we want. If we sit here and we see that that's what they want, then why aren't we doing the nails? Why aren't we selling the product?
Yeah,
Come on.
It
makes no sense.
I can tell you, Dr. Rosie, one of the things that we've researched and really identified here is how this happened. How did it happen to black people? Because if we go back 50 years, you're talking 1965 or 60s, 1955. We had nothing but black-owned businesses. We were segregated. We were in black communities, and we were really under a lot of suppression. We couldn't get loans that white businesses could get. They were burning down black businesses. But even despite all that, black businesses were booming. So we had in almost every city, we had black cab companies. We had black bus companies. We had black insurance companies, banks. Raleigh, North Carolina, that was known as one of the Black Wall Street areas, had all the greatest black insurance companies, mortgage companies, finance companies, insurance companies, all had their headquarters right in the same area. Of course, we know Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Auburn Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia, Sweet Auburn, Harlem on 125th Street. You had city after city, nothing but booming. Two black sports franchises. You're talking about the Negro Leagues with 500 of the best players we've ever seen in baseball history. We had it all. And
but Delxino,
what happened? Yes.
Mm-hmm. What do we, we talk about history and we talk about that. I hear people telling their children, we're smart. We invented the alphabet. We built the pyramid. And I see the black children looking at you like, and what happened? What are we going to tell these children when they ask the question? We repeat where we were and what we did.
Right.
What are we going to tell our babies now? Yeah. What are we going to tell them? We make them feel as if they are stepchildren to God because everybody else is doing well and we don't have anything. They won't even want to worship and serve the God that we say is our God. Black folks got to recognize the fact that there's some damaging that's been done and there's a psychological, some type of surgery, mental surgery that we need to do. We can't keep talking. We're going under too fast. And black folks are sitting waiting for the next election, thinking that whoever get in power going to change that condition. I want you to know it's musical chairs. If we don't do it for ourselves, it's a disgrace for us to leave our children, Delxino, in the shape that we're leaving them in. This is absolutely, my daddy said, stunnated crazy.
I agree with you 100%. And one of the thing that we found is that when we look at black people and where we are today as a race, the thing that's made our company so successful and all the black people working here at blackbusinessnetwork.com having all this amazing success is because we look at our black community and our first question is, okay, where are we? Number two, how do we get here? And now number three, whether we like it or not, whether we agree with why we got here or who did it, we have to plan our way out. We've got to say, okay, this is where we are. This is where we want to go. Right. Up here. Now, how do we get from here to here? And so we almost have to do that unemotionally a little bit, because from my perspective, if we continue to beat each other up, we don't progress. And we've seen that for 100 years. But if we look at it and we say, okay, this is where we are and why we're here, then now we can begin to counteract the negative effects and start building on the positive. And that's really one of the point I was trying to make before, is that when we researched what got us here, what we found out was almost unbelievable. The reason how we lost all those businesses in the 60s was not because black people are stupid. It's not because many of us are messed up or even slavery syndrome. It was because of Madison Avenue marketing firms in New York that basically, once the walls of segregation fell, for 10 years earlier, 20 years earlier, we had been getting hammered. And this is the thing most of us don't know. We had been getting hammered since the 50s with go to Woolworths. It's the best store in the world. Tide, you want to go to Vegas. All these places we couldn't go. You go to Vegas, you go to jail. You show up in a hotel. Now, as of 65, after years and decades of being hammered with it, the minute the walls of segregation fell, our people who got all this marketing said, finally, listen, our leaders told us that to be equal, to be free meant that we could go to white businesses. And they never told whites that to be free meant you could go to black businesses. So all the money went one way. And between 1965 and 75, almost every black business in America closed, not because our businesses were bad, only because we had been marketed for decades and we finally responded to it once the walls of segregation fell. That is still going on today. And if we don't fix that, we don't fix that by out marketing them, then we stay in the same place because we're still responding to the marketing.
That's what happened to the black colleges. That's what happened to the black hospitals. That's what happened to everything that's black. But till we accept that responsibility, if my leg
that's the
broke
key word,
and I'm still hopping on it because I don't believe it's broke, so I'm just gonna call it out. It's crazy. It's craziness. We need to be debriefed till we accept the fact that it's something wrong with us. Then we can't fix it. It's something wrong with the people who would do what we're doing. So that's why I'm saying it's something wrong. I'm not trying to sugarcoat and lie. Well, y'all just, the white man did not tell Prince not to do a living trust. The white man didn't tell James Brown. I don't want to hear black folks say nothing else ever about white folks. I want to talk about black folks. I want to talk about what we're doing and what we need to do. I want to erase every excuse we ever had, and let's look at the fact where we are and where do we get from here. And I see what you're doing is important because now we're saying you can go to this website, whatever you need. If they don't have it, at least give them a shot first. You can get on your Facebook and on your email and say, have you heard about the Black Business Network? What they do is market black products and services to black people. Everybody else is marketing to us. Why can't we market? They're dealing with solutions. If you go to my website, drrosa.com, you're going to see Black Business Network as one of the links. You can go to it directly from my website, drrosa.com. We all should have that link.
That's what makes you so brilliant, Dr. Rosie, because what you're doing is you're bringing awareness to the real problems of our time, the real problem of what we're doing with our race. The unfortunate thing is most of our people are not. When you go to black this and black that, we're listening to entertainment and nonsense that doesn't advance our race. So you're one of the few that's actually bringing light to what's really the challenge. And, one of the things we also discovered in studying history that has been wonderful in terms of the success that we're having today is that all the races that are doing great have institutions that their members participate in every week. Now, this is interesting. The Jews, for instance, perhaps the most successful white group in America, they make up only 2% of the population, but by some estimates control 33% of the wealth of this country. And what is it that they do? How are just generation after generation of Jews so successful? Is it that they're teaching their kids? Well, it's more than that. You see, they have two institutions that Jews go to every week. They have the Hebrew school, where they learn their history and their culture, and they have the synagogue, where they learn their religion. So every week, Jewish kids are learning from the time they're small that Jewish money stays in the Jewish community. Mm-hmm. You buy only from other Jews. Every week. Talk to a Jew, they'll tell you. Every week. Now, we try to understand that us as Black people, we haven't had anything like that for 100 years, since Marcus Garvey did it 100 years ago. And you try to ask, how come Garvey had so much success and so many people did well, and you haven't seen that other than the Nation of Islam since? What is it that Garvey did? And here it is. Garvey had meetings in all over the world every week for Black people, where he taught money, Black history, Black culture. And so following in that tradition, we said, okay, well, that's one of the secrets. Let's put it in. And so here at tagteammarketing.com, blackbusinessnetwork.com, Buy Black Movement, we have events, seminars, financial seminar, business building, Black history every single week. Black people come to the events no matter what city we're in, and all of our other members, because it's free to join anywhere in the world, get to watch online and learn with us every week. And this weekly events, teaching our history, teaching our culture, teaching the same principles that you're sharing here today so beautifully, Dr. Rosie, are changing our people, because finally we now have an institution at which we can belong and have our children learn these wonderful things every week. So the answer is in just what you said, solutions, what we're doing about it. And one is, you got to have this. So in that, let me just say, please come live. If you're in Los Angeles, then you can see it for yourself. Friday, I'm going to be delivering a seminar about everything we're talking about here today. It's called the $1 Trillion Game They Don't Want Black People to Know About. It's going to be at Terrace Unity Center in Los Angeles. It's going to be this Friday night from 7 to 10. I guarantee you it's going to be life-changing. If you're not in Southern California, you can watch free online at www.blackbusinessnetwork.com. But if you are in LA, you have to come out live, so come on out. Doors open at 6:30. It's totally free to attend, and that's Friday. We're going to do another one on Saturday, the tag team marketing presentation about our opportunity and how marketing is going to change it. That's Saturday. And then Sunday, we're going to be in San Diego delivering our Buy Black Movement presentation from 3 to 6. And all of this you can see on blackbusinessnetwork.com.
And Christ Unity is at 78th and Western. That's 78th and Western in Los Angeles. We have to change some things, and we don't have a long time to do it. Folks, don't think that changing the musical chairs of politics is going to change the condition for Black America. It will not.
No.
We are going to have to change it ourselves. So please, make no mistake about it. And we have to get the word around. As I said, you can also go to drrosa.com and click on Black Business Network. And I'm asking everyone to link that to their personal website, that people would know where to go. That's the kind of, that's what we are going to have to do, because I can't, every day I get up there, Zeno, I look out. If you have grandchildren, I'm telling you, it would change your life. Every time I look in the face of my grandbabies, I get more energized by saying, I cannot leave them here like this. And that's what we need to talk about. Our forefathers, they fought hard that we would have a better day. Now here we are sitting, our children are worse off than our forefathers. We look forward to getting up and getting your own place and getting your apartment. We look forward to sending money back home to our father when we left. We didn't look forward to going back home and say, Daddy, can I come back here and live? Daddy, can you help me out? Right. Daddy, can you help take care of my children? Come on, this is going backwards.
Right.
And we have to change it. We become the laughing stock of America, because people know that we don't have, even our own politicians, They don't give a flute about us because they know you don't have money to put into their campaign. So they're not thinking about you. They're according to people who put money into their campaign. And we just happen to have somebody black where he look like us. I don't care if you look like a booger bear. I tell people, and I'm real serious, I'm getting a lot of heat because I'm telling people until they put something on the table, and they want to strangle me for this company. That's until they put something on the table for black folks. Far as I'm concerned, we can sit out the, oh, you can't tell people to sit out. I say sit out unless something goes in. If we can't have reparation, if we can't have the 65 Indian Treaty, if we can't have the black farmers getting paid, and somebody, even if you're not going to do it, just lie to me. Just act like you're going to do it. Act like you want to help me, okay? Yeah. If you can't do that, why should I vote for you? I'm sick and tired of people talking, well, my forefathers gave their life. They didn't give their life. Their life was taken because they wanted to vote. We allow everybody to take us for granted. If the word went out that we are block voted or we are holding out, it would change the whole course of this political